surprise.
Michael is butter because he's on a roll.
Can I get a witness from the congregation?
You can't stop authenticity.
Booyah!
Stuart was exactly like you saw him on camera, off camera. He dialed it up 10%.
Can you imagine the impact of young black boys and girls looking at that going, I feel seen?
Whoa, get up, baby!
He changed the culture, he changed sports.
ESPN's newest 30 for 30 Boo-Yah chronicles the life and career of ESPN's very own Stuart Scott as he trailblazed the sports broadcasting industry, his legacy, impact, and cultural influence like never before. 30 for 30 Boo-Yah, presented by Modelo, premieres tonight on ESPN and the ESPN app. All right, the host of Get Up, Mike Greenberg, joins us now here on SportsCenter. And Greeny, what are your memories of Stuart Scott as a co-anchor, but also as a friend?
Yeah, Stuart was exactly the same off the air that he was on the air. I think all of us who were around him back in the 90s and the early 2000s, we would work very late at night. I was an anchor on ESPN News, and he was anchoring the late night sports centers with Rich Eisen. So we would be in this somewhat dark room in a newsroom writing shows at, 11, 12 o'clock at night. And Stuart would just get up and start shouting, and he would go over to everyone's desk and start hyping them up. And he just was a torrent of energy. He was like a lightning bolt of energy before he got sick and even afterwards. So his what I will remember him more than anything for, well, so many different things because our families really got to be close. But what I remember mostly about working with him was his energy was extraordinary, and it transferred directly from the newsroom onto the screen.
And that's what everyone talks about, his personality being the same both on and off camera, whether he's doing highlights, interviews, talking to people just in passing. What do you think made him so memorable, though, to the audience?
Well, he was unapologetically authentic. And I think I heard a little bit of it in that snippet that we've been playing all week in preview in the film, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it because I think this is an important part of his story. Stuart was an absolutely great talent and a magnetic personality and all of those things, but he was also one who absolutely changed the way the conversations around sports were conducted because he refused to be anything other than authentically himself. And I'm really looking forward to hearing all of the people who can offer greater insight into that than I could, explaining how important and meaningful it was. Stuart Scott was Stuart Scott on television at a time when not everyone thought that was okay, and not everyone thought inside the building and outside the building immediately thought that was a good idea. And obviously he was right, and his view of the situation prevailed and completely changed the way the dynamics in which sports are discussed every single day on this show and on our show and all the other shows around sports television. So Stuart, you could almost look at sports media in some ways into the time before Stuart and the time after Stuart. And I know that wherever he is right now, he's very proud of that.
Look, and like we know, we haven't seen the documentary yet, obviously. However, knowing Stuart Scott, what do you think people will take away from watching this 30 for 30?
Well, Stuart was a great family man. My favorite memories of being with him were at ESPN The Weekend, which is something we no longer do, but we used to take over Disney World all the time, and his girls are a little older than my kids. But they were all in a similar enough age that we would just run amok at Disney World. And I hope that, I know that side of him will be very prominent in the film. He was a great family man. He was so close to Taylor and Sydney. So you will see the man behind the legend. I mean, Stuart is a legend. What he did on television will never be forgotten. But the man that he was is obviously more important than that. And I'm sure people will come away from it recognizing that he was not just a great TV anchor, but he was a terrific person in pretty much every way you can be one.
Yeah, really excited to see that 30 for 30. You can check out Greeny at the top of the hour on Get Up. Greeny, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Stuart Scott's impact is one that helped pave the way for many people who look and talk like him. Representation is important, and how he represented his culture, his true self, and the heart of a sports fan is why so many of us fell in love with how genuine his presentation was. One of his many strengths was reading highlights, and one of his most memorable ones was when Kobe dropped 81. Check it out.
Lakers and the Toronto Raptors. Now, last time they met, Kobe Bryant had a season-low 11 points. Second quarter, Chris Mihm backdoor to Kobe, who just yokes it. Now, Kobe leads the league, scoring 34.8 points per game. Lakers, though, down 14 at recess. Second half, Kobe Bryant went off. Command Center, this is Kangaroo Boxer requesting permission to fire. Kangaroo Boxer, permission granted. 7 of 13 from three land. Late third quarter, Kobe. pops up, another three. This is about to get silly. It's his 13th 40-point game this year. Third quarter, some bunnies with a Baduka dunk. His 5th 50-point game this season. Time winding down the third. Lamar Odom, wide open Kobe, who rocks the rim. Lakers up 4. Now fourth quarter. This is just straight silliness. Kobe Bryant, first player since Jordan in '87, 2 60-point games in one season. But earlier this season, he had like 62 and then sat the fourth quarter. On the line with 62, there's Kobe's new career high, 63. Later in the quarter, you know, Lakers owner Jerry Buss said, quote, "You're watching, and it's like a miracle unfolding in front of your eyes, and you can't accept it. Somehow the brain doesn't work." Kobe Bryant, cut it out at 70. Yeah, 70. And later in the quarter, Kobe Bryant, yep, 72 points. New Laker record, passing Elgin Baylor, but he's not done. Come on. Kobe has 74. Kobe would say later, quote, "To sit here and say that I grasped what happened tonight, I'd be lying." Kobe Bryant, 79 points, most in a game in NBA history. Only second most. Wilt had that 100. There's the free throw that gives him 80, and then the free throw that gives him 81 points. 81.
Man, Stuart Scott, just an absolute legend. And when you just listen to him do that highlight, it feels like you're listening to one of your friends telling you about the game last night. And then let alone Kobe Bryant dropping 81.
I mean, it is so fun to listen to and watch, and it's inspiring. I mean, I bought his book just to be able to get any type of notes from this legend.
Yeah.
Nobody else does it better than Stuart Scott.
Yeah, no one does. Just an absolute legend in the sports industry.